So remember when I asked you about asymmetric information?
Yes, sir.
That's the asymmetry I'm talking about.
I understood your point, Mr. Hearing Examiner.
Okay, can I read you something?
Yes, sir.
There are lots. Are you familiar with the concept of moral hazard?
It doesn't ring a bell.
Well, let me read you one definition. And moral hazard is something that you see in the regulatory context in cases involving utility commissions. I know this because I researched it, right? So moral hazard comes up in many different contexts. It might come up in the PG&E context because of the fire damage and the issues that require compensation and rate setting issues. It might come up in many types of different contexts, but one context it comes up in is where there's simply just generally an asymmetry of information. So this is just a definition that I got from Investopedia, but it says moral hazard occurs when there is asymmetric information between two parties and a change in the behavior of one party occurs after an agreement between the two parties is reached. So there was a change in behavior, right? Here, the change of behavior was, well, we're not going to issue the bonds when we said we were, because situation changed, right? But
there was a change in the estimate. I would agree with that.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And so asymmetric information, quoting again, refers to any situation where one party to a transaction has greater material knowledge than the other party. Now, moral hazard frequently occurs in the lending and insurance industries, but it can also exist in employer-employee relationships. Anytime two parties come into an agreement with each other, moral hazards can be present. And so here, the potential moral hazard that PNM has, frankly, potentially created is that it's sitting on information about when it's going to issue the bonds based on changed circumstances. Did PNM ever consider whether it was creating a moral hazard?
That conversation did not, I do not remember conversations regarding that.
But there's an agreement there. The financing order is in a form of is effectively a type of agreement, right? It's a commitment. It's a commitment PNM made that with the ratepayers.
I would agree with
right?
that. I would agree with that.
That is supposed to be in the public interest.
I would agree with that as well.
You don't think that you're breaking the agreement with the ratepayers then?
No, like I said in my testimony, I believe we are in compliance with the financing order in this application.
Okay, I understand PNM's position.